So already this morning we left at 8:30 and now we have to go back by the house because I left my money in my pocket.
Yeah.
This will be the beginning of a long day at a field trip.
I'm getting home. I'm getting car sick.
Nuh-uh.
My butt feels weird.
Your butt doesn't feel weird. That's just you being weird. Yeah. Alright. Hope it doesn't rain. But if it does, it does.
Well, I'll pile in over there.
Yeah. Do we just come out back out here for lunch then? Okay.
I'm guessing.
I would say so.
I'm guessing there's the tables.
Yeah.
You didn't turn it on.
Yeah, it is. It's red.
Is that real red? It's not red.
It's not?
It's not red. Yeah, it is.
It's red.
It's not red.
It's not? Okay. And this is your best friend? Positively, absolutely, no questions. Okay. Okay. Did they give you any kind of information on the bus? Nope, they didn't talk to you whatsoever? Okay. Bus rules. Right.
No standing up.
Yep.
That's all she knows. Food inside the bus. Lots of other gross stuff that we don't really need to know.
Right. All right.
Are we all ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for being good listeners.
Miss Davis, we've got one in the bathroom.
Wait right there, boys. Now, while we're waiting on those folks to come out of the bathroom, I'm going to ask you what state... Oh, wait, where are you going, buddy? No, we don't have time. We got... Oh. We're going to be running behind if we're doing this.
Hey. Is it Adrian?
What state are we all in?
Missouri.
Missouri? You sure it's not Missouri? That's a big debate as to whether it's Missouri or Missouri. If you ask the Native Americans that the state is named after, they'd say Missouri. They pronounce their own name Missouri, but most Missourians say Missouri. Now, there is a song I know in their language, and I'll sing it to you later.
My goodness.
Now, there are 2 stalls, and we are... All right, come on down.
Hey, Dad, what bus were you behind?
Daddy got here before the buses.
Well, still, what bus were you behind? Whenever you were behind a bus?
No, we just moved into a different area. All right,
You guys laugh.
turn this way. Take a look at this tree. You might need to double up on your lines a little bit or scoot in closer. Take a look at this tree that's bent over here. That is a black walnut tree, boys. Pay attention. That is a black walnut tree that the Missouri Department of Conservation tells us is probably 230 to 250 years old. Now, normally trees don't grow like that, right? They don't bend over. We think some humans actually bent that tree over when it was a young tree, not much bigger than this catalpa. Once they bent it over, they tied it down to keep it growing in that way. The question becomes who and why? Well, the who is the Osage. Now, the Osage, I told you how to say hello. Everybody say hooray.
Away.
Or girls say hooray. There you go. They lived in this area, and they sometimes set up marker trees at a place of permanent water. Sometimes during the hot summer months, we have what's called a drought. That's where all the water starts to dry up in the creeks and the streams around here. In the back reaches of Smallin that I'm going to take you to today, there's always fresh pools of water to draw from. So maybe they set up that marker tree for that reason. But that eastward facing direction may mean that this was a place where the Osage liked to come and pray. They used to get up every morning as the sun rose and pray to God. And so sometimes they set up eastward-facing trees like that to remind them to get up and pray in the morning. But either as a prayer site marker or as a water marker, it's basically a living artifact. You know, an arrowhead's an artifact. That's a living artifact left behind by the Osage people.
Do I have what? Yes. You mean, is it on?
All right, scoot on down close.
It's on right now.
Look at this little area down in here. We call this the Fox's Den or Fox's Passage. We have seen and photographed red foxes and gray foxes coming to and from this area. What are the foxes doing here? Well, they're coming back here to sleep or go on dinner dates with Mr. Turkey. They'll hunt one of my turkeys down and bring them back here to eat them. There are airflow indications right in this area that suggest there may be another way to the surface here. Too small for humans to crawl through, but large enough for small mammals. Now look right there. That doesn't look like limestone, does it? That's a different type of rock. This is our local variety of flint. Everybody say chert. Chert. Chert is made of silica. This is what the Native Americans around here made their arrowheads, knives, scrapers, and spear points out of. And we have evidence in this cave that people had actually struck some of these rocks, possibly to remove it for making stone tools. All right, we're going to move to the back reaches of the cave. Grown-ups, I need your attention. We may be passing some bats. Remember not to flash the bats. And on the right-hand side, there's a section where the cave wall juts out a little bit above the sidewalk. Just be careful, don't run into that, all right? Right here, this is where you need to be careful. Right here.
Yes, you bet.
Come on down to the end here. Well, you know, I keep paying them, but they sometimes don't show up for work, so I'm sorry. I don't think we bats right now. If you spot one, you let me know. Now, come on down to the end here. When you're at the end of this walkway, You are 550 feet inside Smallin Cave. Now, how long is the cave altogether? Well, we know that it goes at least a mile upstream to where there's a giant sinkhole. Now, a sinkhole is like a funnel in the earth that brings water into this cave system. There are actually several different sinkholes that feed the water of this cave system. But upstream, about a mile, is a large sinkhole that is another exit to this cave. Right in front of us is one of the most beautiful rimstone dams right there. You'll notice it's kind of got a red color. We have iron in our soil, and you know if you leave a piece of iron out in the rain, it'll rust. Well, that's oxidized iron ore, and so it kind of paints that stone red. Now above it, there is a rock called Bear's Head Rock. You see that rock that looks like a bear's head right there? Yeah. That is my high water mark in this cave. In 2009, water rose up to touch that bear's chin. We had over 3 feet of water moving over the top of this dam in 2009. That's about as high as water ever gets in this cave. This is the section of the cave where we find a lot of Ice Age fossils, mastodon tooth fragments, giant buffalo fragments. They come in this area. Those animals weren't coming into the cave, rather they died at one of the sinkholes and then their bones were swept into the stream bed. Now, I'm going to turn off the light just for a minute, so be prepared. What I'm going to ask you to do is look back the way we came. Now, when you look back the way we came, you're going to notice a glint of electrical light down in the pool down here. I want your eyes to look on that cave wall right there. When I turn my light off, the glow of light that you see on that cave wall is due largely to sunlight. So here we go. So if you were to drop your torch, say 200 years ago in the water, that would still give you enough light to see out. But look at the bear's head now. Yeah, that is not the section of the cave you want to be in, so don't go that way and I'll see you off the front of the cave. Now, I got a surprise for you, but I need you to pay attention. You are under the sea. Under the sea. Now, I'm not talking about that Disney movie. I'm talking about there's a fossil layer above your head, and it's from an old sea. Right there, that's a piece of foreign coral. The base would have been the narrow part. The wider part would have stood up in the water. Right next to it, fossilized Cheerios. Wait, that's not right. Oh no, that's a state fossil in Missouri. Everybody say crinoid. Now those circular sections would have stacked upon each other to create hollow tubes in which the nutrients for the animal move. Are you all prepared to do the crinoid dance? Okay. Put one arm like this, that's the bottom of the ocean. Put the other arm like this, that's your crinoid. Wave your fingers slowly back and forth. Those are the arms of the crinoid gathering food out of the water into the head of the crinoid, represented by the palm of your hand. Below your wrist is the stem of the crinoid that holds the crinoid head up above the ocean floor. And at your elbow is the foot of the crinoid that holds the crinoid in place. Although if threatened, watch, the crinoid can move. All right, good job doing the dance of the crinoid. And if you didn't do the dance of the crinoid, you're just being a stick in the mud. But since a crinoid is essentially a stick in the mud, maybe you're being more of a crinoid than the rest of us. Now, hold on just a second.
Do not turn off the lights again.
I'm not going to turn off the lights again.
Do it.
Right here in the ceiling here, you'll see a spiral. Do you see that spiral? It is a shell. Good job. It is a sea snail shell. So we call this one Gary. It is a gastropod. Everybody say gastropod. Gastropod. We have a gastropod in the back reaches of the cave that's as big around as a dinner plate. So there were some large sea snails running around in this ocean a long, long time ago. All right, let me take a lead here for just a little bit. Now, right here, this is the biggest cave like this. It was just a brand new cave. This cave was 13 feet long. This is the weak layer. The water came through it. It started cutting this channel here.
I'm right here, sweetie.
Then for some reason, the water shifted down this way. So if you were to take a time machine back, like Mr. Peabody and Sherman, the cave wouldn't have looked any bigger than this. I wouldn't have given it. All right, come on down this way.
Hey, don't tell me how to do it. Ooh, spooky. That's to discourage us going back.
Everybody to the right. Single file line, just like at school. Okay, everybody, I need you to quiet down because we're going to share some information with you. Keep up your clippers.
Your dad
All right, scoot on up. Stay in your lines, though. Scoot on up. Stay in your lines. I'm going to step off over here. Turn to face me. Right here is the drop-off for the cave. That's why this fence is here, and that's why we have that rule, you stay on the sidewalk. Past this point, there's about a 70-foot drop-off down to the stream bed. When you're walking through the cave, the sidewalk comes up right about there. The cave runs off in this direction here. So if you haven't been in the cave yet, that's the way you're going to go. And if you've been in the cave, like you just were, that's the way you went. Now, when we're on this tour, we're going to learn the names of some trees. But we're going to learn that they have 3 types of names. There's the common name that everybody likes to use, like oak, walnut, ash, hickory. Then there's the scientific name, the ones that scientists use. We're going to talk about how they name some of the trees. And then the third name we're going to learn is the Osage name for some of these trees. And after we learn those 3 names, we're going to learn about how the trees were used by the Osage and how they're even used today. So are you guys ready to learn those 3 names?
Yeah.
All right, well, follow me down the hill here.
You have a tiny boat. No, I said not. He looks for mushrooms. Not the mushrooms. I know, I know. It's made of rock. Oh, it's not right.
Looks like a barn.
Oh, my bad. I thought that was a male.
You said no picture stuff. Put that booger back.
Hey, what's that?
Whose?
He wants us.
Yeah?
He wants us to see that.
Maybe because I'm outside. Or maybe it's because I'm part Indian.
I'm part Indian.
You are?
Yeah.
You look like you're Indian.
But Cherokee Indian.
Yeah? I'm Blackfoot. No, my black feet ain't black.
I know. I wasn't going to ask this way, Daddy.
Why? I don't know. It must be something cool down here. I guess we'll find out, huh? Ew. Alright, we're stopping.
Alright, I want everybody to turn and face this tree here. Now when I ask you a question, I would appreciate it if you would raise your hand and not shout it out, parents. So raise your hand if you can look at the leaves of this tree and identify it. I see a raised hand over there, ma'am. Whoa, she's super smart. Everybody say oak tree. Oak tree. Now there's actually several different types of oaks here in the Ozarks. There's chinkapin oak, blackjack oak. This is a northern red oak. Everybody say northern red oak.
Northern red oak.
So that's the common name that we use. Now all the oaks are classed into one group scientifically. It's called a genus. We call that genus Quercus. Everybody say Quercus.
Quercus.
But this specific tree has a species name too, which is rubra. So we put it together, say Quercus rubra.
Quercus rubra.
That's kind of like saying Tyrannosaurus rex. Okay? But it's Quercus rubra. Now, oaks, raise your hand, put on what kind of a seed? Yes, sir.
Oak seeds.
Well, what do we call those oak seeds? Starts with an A. You, sir? Everybody say acorns.
Acorn.
Now, when I get kindergartners through here and I ask them what kind of tree this is, they say it's an acorn tree. Well, that's not quite right, but that's what the Osage called it. Here's the Osage word for acorn. Say beishi.
Beishi.
One more time, beishi.
Beishi.
For the whole tree, we say beishihu.
Beishihu.
One more time, beishihu.
Beishihu.
Now, if you had asked an Osage person living in this state 300 years ago, is this an important tree to your people?
Yes.
They would have said, yeah. That's because every fall they would gather, on average, 500 pounds of acorns. That'd be a sack of acorns that weighs as much as me, and another sack of acorns that weighs as much as me, and a sack of acorns that weighs about as much as her. So that's a lot of acorns for each family to gather up. But if you've ever eaten a red oak acorn, they are bitter. Everybody say bitter.
Bitter.
That's because they contain tannic acid. That's the same chemical that will turn skin to leather. You think the Osage wanted their kids to have leather stomachs? No, it didn't function too well. So the Native Americans figured out that if you crack open the acorns, put the nut meat inside of a basket, set that basket in a running stream for more than a day, the rushing water will carry away the tannins. Or, I've done this with my son, boil the acorns in several different changes of water. That took us about 3 hours to process half a cup of acorns into an edible food source. When we got through doing it, they tasted kind of like walnuts. But beforehand, they sure didn't. Now, raise your right hand. Say, I promise.
I promise
Not to eat.
not to eat
Wild plants.
wild plants
Unless I'm with
unless I'm with
my mom or dad.
my mom or dad.
And they say it's okay.
And they say it's okay.
And they know what they're doing.
And they know what they're doing.
And if you think they might not know what they're doing, say, Mom, Dad, maybe we better ask a conservation agent first. The Missouri Department of Conservation will put you in touch with trained people who can teach you how to eat wild plants. I'm not out here to say, hey, kids, go out and eat the forest. No, because some things are poisonous, can make you sick. So just bear in mind, we're learning about how people use these. I'm not saying go out and try these things on your own. All right.
You want to eat some acorns? You want to try it? No? You don't even like the walnuts and pecans that Daddy brings home, huh? Yeah.
this tree next, when you look at this tree, you'll notice that the leaflets usually come in sets of 5. There's one right here. Usually they come in sets of 5. So hold up your 5 fingers. Say 5 leaflets.
5 leaflets.
That's typically how they appear. Now I'm going to give you another hint about this tree. This tree puts on a seed. Now pay attention. This seed has a light brown, tan hull that's a little bumpy. Underneath that hull is the seed. It is smooth and dark brown and has a little white dot on it, a little bit smaller than a dime. What sort of tree puts on seeds that are smooth and dark brown with a little white dot on them? Raise your hand if you think you know. Your grandma or grandpa might carry one in their pocket or their purse.
A buckeye?
Whoa, good job. Everybody say Buckeye.
Buckeye.
Now, one more time, everybody say Buckeye.
Buckeye.
Now, I believe this is the Ohio Buckeye. So all Buckeyes belong to the genus Aeschylus. Stand up straight like a scientist. Say Aeschylus.
Aeschylus.
That's the genus for Buckeyes. Now say Glabra.
Glabra.
One more time, say Aeschylus.
Aeschylus.
Glabra. That's the scientific name for this tree. Now let's try the Osage name for Buckeye. Say da. That means deer. Ska.
Ska.
That means playful.
Playful.
And say huh. That means tree. Say da ska huh.
Dashka.
No, we don't do it like that. Say da ska huh.
Dashka.
Playful deer tree. Now why? Well, the tree's slightly toxic. And maybe when the deers ate the nuts or the leaves, they got a little playful. I'm not sure. But I can tell you that the leaves, the seeds, the roots of this tree are poisonous to humans. Could the Osage have used it?
No.
Yeah. As a medicine. Let me explain. When you were a baby being brought home from the hospital, your mom was probably given a little bottle of something called Ipecac. It's an emetic. Everybody say emetic.
Emetic.
Now what does that mean? Well, babies can't see too well, so they explore their world by grabbing whatever they get in their little fists and they put it in their mouth over here, and then they pick this thing up. And pretty soon your whole house is covered with baby spit, right?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes a baby gets a hold of something that it's not supposed to and swallows it, and then the mom's calling up the nurse or the doctor going, I don't know what to do, the baby just swallowed it. And the nurse or the doctor saying, calm down. Give the baby a little bit of Ipecac. It'll help that baby throw that back up. And then bring it back. Well, if you had a choice between being poisoned and thrown up, what would you choose?
Going up.
Throwing up, right? So this is an emetic. This is how the Osage would use it. They'd actually use the root of this tree to make a weak tea that would help them clean out their system. Is this something I want you to try?
No.
Is this something I'm going to try? No. But I do know Osage who still use this as a form of medicine, even today. All right, let me get the lead here. Oh, by the way, what about the settlers? Did they use this wood? Yes. The light-colored wood was often shaped into bowls and spoons by the early settlers in this area. All right.
Oh! That would be awesome. Schools are made out of board. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But it'd be a lot harder to kill that as board. It'd be a lot harder to kill. No,
Now I want you to come down here, gather up and take a look at these 2 trees right here and raise your hand. Take a look at these 2 trees and then raise your hand and tell me if you know what kind of tree this is, ma'am. Very good. Everybody say cedar tree.
Oh, cedar tree.
See, there's a tree. See, there's a tree. Let's say the full common name. Say Eastern.
Eastern.
Red.
Red.
Cedar.
Cedar.
Now, if you read about cedars in the Bible, they belong to a different group of trees. They generally fall in a genus called Cedrus. Boys, stand up. The group in the Bible is poisonous. If you try and eat anything off of a cedar mentioned in the Bible, they're actually toxic. But this belongs to a different group of trees. Stand up straight, like a scientist. Begin to say its scientific name. Say juniperus.
Juniperus.
Virginiana.
Virginiana.
One more time, Juniperus.
Juniperus.
Virginiana.
Virginiana.
That means that this is actually a type of juniper tree, and the little purple blue berries that form on it are edible. But let me ask you something. Would you go home and open up a pepper shaker and start shaking it in your mouth?
No.
No, that's why you wouldn't eat these that way. The little berries were used by the Osage and other tribes as a type of seasoning that you would add to a soup or add to meat that was roasting, so it would add a little bit of flavor to it. Now, the leaves were also used to make a type of medicine for the old people. When their joints begin to get sore, they get arthritis, it was kind of an anti-arthritis medication. Now, you pull the bark off of here, put it in between your hands and rub it, you get the coarse material away, and you're left with a fine hair-like fiber. And if you use, like in Minecraft, flint and steel, this will catch fire. This is a type of tinder. So this was another way in which this tree was used. The bark was used as a fire starter. If you cut the wood, it's a beautiful red color, and it smells like Christmas. But to bugs, they don't like it. Bugs are repelled by this wood. So your grandmother, your mom, may have a cedar chest or a cedar trunk. They can put things made out of wool, made out of fur, made out of feathers into those trunks. It prevents them from being eaten up by moths and other pests. Did the Native Americans know that? Sure they did. They made boxes out of cedar wood to protect their eagle feathers. They didn't want their eagle feathers to be eaten up by those little bugs either, so they'd protect them in boxes made out of cedar. Now let's say the Osage name for this tree. We have to get this up in your nose a little bit. Say, Kong. Say.
Say.
It's like a DSE. Say, Konse.
Ponce.
One more time, Konse.
Ponce.
This was a long life symbol for the Osage. Why? These are some of the oldest living trees, not these ones in particular. These are the oldest living species of trees in the state of Missouri. How old can they get? The conservation tells us 1,000 years old. There are cedar trees in this state that are 1,000 years old. And so the Osage, they wanted to take that on as a symbol. How would they do that? They'd cut one of the green branches, put that in a bowl of water, and when they were naming their children, they bless that young child with the cedar water and say, I hope you have a long, happy, healthy life, just like the cedar trees do. So that was another use by the Osage. All right, if you guys would stay on the trail and come around this way. Here to hunt in the fall, they would build dome-shaped huts. Okay? And they would do that by sticking hickory saplings that they had cut down in the ground, bending them over to make an arch, and then kind of making an umbrella out of the hickory saplings that were bent over, and then covering that over with cattail mats. Up along the Osage River and the Missouri River and the Arkansas River, they built long buildings, more shaped like this, but again, the frame of those was made from hickory. That was the main frame of their buildings, was this tree. Now, what do we use hickory for today? If you're trying to get a good handle for a hammer, a shovel, axe, hickory is an excellent hard wood for making handles out of. It's a good, strong wood. All right, well, let's come on over here. This tree right here, which has deep furrowed bark, deep indentations in between the bark. The leaflets that are, there's a little fungus growing on the side. The leaflets that are coming out on this will eventually be about this long. They'll have parallel leaflets on each side, and then there'll be about 2 or 3 down at the bottom. And in the fall, this is a real distinctive characteristic. It puts on seeds that are light green, about the size of a golf ball. So say green golf ball tree.
Green golf ball tree.
That's not right.
No.
Raise your hand if you think you know what this is. Yes, ma'am. Very good. Everybody say black walnut.
Black walnut.
So black walnut is the true walnut from Missouri. But we need to learn the scientific name. Stand up straight. Say Juglans nigra.
Nigra.
One more time. Say Juglans nigra.
Juglans nigra.
Black walnut. Fall asleep on me. Now, the seeds of this tree are edible, both to humans and to other animals, or to animals. So let's say the Osage name. Say Dagehu.
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 Da meaning deer, Ge meaning nut, and Hu meaning tree. So deer nut tree. Now, when these seeds fall off the tree, they have an outer hull that is initially light green, but it quickly turns a blackish brown color. And when these are wet, if you pick them up, it'll stain your hand. So it was used as a stain by some of the Native Americans to dye some aspects of their leather. But in old accounts, John Dunn Hunter's memoirs from the early 1800s, he tells us that the juice of this hull was sometimes used by the Osage to cure a colicky stomach, an upset stomach. I don't think I'd try that myself, though, because I know that other tribes would take the juice from the outer hull of this walnut, collect it in a bowl, then take that bowl and pour that into a slow-moving stream of water, and then the fish wouldn't feel so good, and they'd come floating to the surface. It was a type of fish poison. So that's how this was sometimes used. Now, the shell is very hard and woody. A lot of people didn't know what to do with it, but in the 1950s, when they were developing jet engines, they discovered if you powder walnut shell, it makes an abrasive, it makes a cleaner that will clean a jet engine without damaging it. While your mom might even have some facial scrub for cleaning her face with some walnut in it, or your dad might have it for cleaning out brass if he does reloading. So walnut shell has a lot of uses. If you haven't had black walnut to eat, have your mom pick some up, put it in some banana nut bread, put it in some brownies. Delicious eating, a native tree to our state. Well, good. All right, let's come on up the way here.
Oh, please,
Colored bark. When you look at the color of this bark, I want you to think of the color of wood ash in a campfire or in a fireplace. That light color that reminds you of the ash of a fire should help you remember this is an ash tree. Everybody say ash tree.
Ash tree.
If you look right over there, you can see that light barked wood right over there. There's another ash tree. Now this was the second favorite wood, along with hickory, for making bows and arrows for the Osage Indians. Let's say the scientific category for all ash trees, say Fraxinus. One more time, stand up straight, say Fraxinus. So all ashes fall under that genus. Now, let's say the Osage name for ash. Say Jean Gatese Hu. Jean Gatese Hu. That means wood that's striped tree, striped wood tree, because the grain has a kind of striped appearance to it. We use ash to make baseball bats today. A lot of baseball players use an ash wood bat. But this is an endangered tree. We have an insect that's come over from Asia called the emerald ash borer, and they love to eat the inner bark. This is the outer bark. Underneath it is the inner bark. That's where all the nutrients flow up and down. They eat that up and kill the trees. So if you go camping this summer, promise me you will not transport firewood from one part of the country to the next. You cannot tell when the wood you have is infested either with the ash borer or some other insect. And if you transport infested wood from one part of the country to the next, you can literally kill thousands of trees. So if you ever go to a campsite, pick up wood there, burn it, and if there's any left over, just give it to somebody. Okay, don't be Mr. Scrooge and save it and drag it back home and kill a bunch of trees. All right, now over here, this is a mulberry tree, and it's starting to put on some of the mulberries right now. This is one of the first trees to put on fruit during the summer, so it's an early food source for the Osage. But it is akin to a tree called, say this with me, Osage orange.
Osage orange.
Or bodark tree. Say bodark tree.
Bodark tree.
Now wait a minute, if I remember correctly, northwest of Springfield, there's a little town called Bodark. Everybody say Bodark?
Bodark.
That's how us hillbillies say it. But that's not how the French say it. Let's say it like a Frenchman would. Say bois
Bois
d'arc.
d'arc.
Say bois d'arc.
Bois d'arc.
Bois means wood. Da means of. Arc means bow. The name of that town in French is literally Bowwood Town. That's because those trees were the best wood for making bows from. So not only did the Osage want it, their cousins, the Omahas, wanted it, and even their enemy, the Pawnees, wanted it. They could cut the saplings down and trade it like money for furs, for food, whatever. It was a trade commodity. Now let's say the name of this region, say Ozarks.
Ozarks.
You hear that arc in there? Some historians believe that the name of our region is a corruption of the French term land of the bows, or people of the bows. So our name is named after that tree. If you don't know what one looks like, go to the Battlefield Mall. And on the road that's in between the Battlefield Mall and that cemetery to the north side, that's Sunset, on the north side of that road by Lemaitre Park, L.E. Park, there's a bunch of Osage orange trees. And if you hit that road about October, you'll notice these great big green softballs falling off the tree that are all bumpy. That's the Osage orange fruit. All right, let's go on up this way. It is this tree right here. Now I'm going to give you a couple of clues about this tree. A couple of weeks ago, this tree here was covered with bright pink blossom. It's one of the first trees to blossom here in the Ozarks. Now those blossoms are starting to turn into little pea pods. They're growing into little pea pods. That's because this tree actually belongs to the pea family, and the leaves are starting to come on with a a heart shape. Raise your hand if you can tell me what kind of tree. Oh, you are the boss.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
No.
A dogwood!
No.
Oh.
Very good. Everybody say Eastern Redbud.
Eastern redbud.
One more time, Eastern Redbud.
Eastern redbud.
Now, this was a long life symbol for the Osage. Why? Because it's one of the first trees to bloom in the spring, one of the last trees to lose its leaves in the fall. Let's say its scientific name, though, first. Say Cirsus. Stand up straight. Canadensis. Oh, come on, wake up. Everybody say Cirsus. Canadensis. So that's the scientific name. Now let's try the Osage name. Say Jean. Chabete. Jean Chabete. That means wood that is dark colored tree. This tree was used in 3 important ways. The charcoal was used as a tattooing ink. It's not like in our society where we go down and pick out our favorite tattoos. And I'm going to get Mordecai over here, Rigby over here, and they'll look super cool. Not like that at all. In the Osage society, tattoos were based on which family you belonged to and which accomplishments you had in life. That ink was made from the charcoal of this tree. Now, the war paint of the warriors was also the charcoal of this tree. That's because it represented a relentless fire. They wanted to sweep over their enemies like a prairie fire. But as a long life symbol, they used this heart shape. Then the Osage warriors started trading with the French for metal tomahawks, metal war hatchets. They'd have the blacksmiths cut a heart shape into that metal access. When the Osage ladies would make cradle boards to put their babies in, they put heart shapes on them. Except they weren't hearts. They were the leaves of this tree. By putting that symbol, they thought that they would protect that warrior from harm. And by putting it on the cradle board, they thought that that baby would grow up to be an old, happy person. So that's how the symbol was sometimes used. All right, you guys have been great listeners. Let me tell you guys where you're going to next.
What?
Crayfish. We're going to go down and I'm going to take you to Jim Panning. Osage. I saw your cave guide here just a second ago. That's Wayne. He's going to take you on the cave tour. Let me open my gate. One way that we're going to avoid getting too close to the person in front of you is we're going to wait to enter in the crawl box. The door is over here. Do not go in the door until you see the person in front of you, their feet disappear around that corner. That should space you out enough so that you're not right up next to them and you can accidentally get kicked. If somebody's having a hard time and they get stuck, you just crawl right over them, right? No. You be patient, you be a good friend, and let them work through that tight corner and get out. It's really, for kids your size, it's an easy crawl box. I can even crawl through it, so if I can crawl through it, I know you can crawl through it too. All right, I'm going to pick out the first 5 to sluice. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys line up on the concrete down there.
Is that 5 already?
That's 5 already. Go on down to the end there, and then the next 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are going to line up on the wood chips on the other side. The rest of you come down, stay in line. And who wants to be the dad in charge of the crawl box? That'd be you. Great. Come over here. Kind of police them through. All right. All right, ma'am. All right.
Oh, he doesn't get one.
Right up to the kids on the concrete side.
How far does this go down? Oh, let's see. You can share ours. No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why don't you go down one?
Pass that down to Adrian.
Adam. No, guys. You do it by yourself. I'll do it first.
All right, now guys on the wood chips on this side, remember, keep your hands at your side. You're not touching the screen. You're not pulling anything out. So, man, put your hands at your side because it's not your turn yet.
Do we put it
Yeah.
in here?
Hold on now. We're waiting. We're waiting until we get everybody ready. All right. Go ahead and open up your bag. Now, these guys on this side, they're going to wait. So just hold on. Open up your bags. Open up your bags. And then pour your sand in the tray here. Pour it all in there. Now keep hold of your bag. The next thing you're going to do, watch. Let me see your eyes. Hey, where's your hand supposed to be, ma'am? Put it down in the water like that. And then you swish it gently back and forth in the water. So set your tray in the water and swish it back and forth. Okay, thanks. All right, thanks.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
I'm about to take over for Eric. You found 4.
Yeah.
You guys are doing great. You get to take everything that you find and you just can't hold today. All yours. All yours. Put it back in your bag. It has your name on it. Can you set it up on there? Once you get your sand all squished out, you can set it up on the ledge there and look through for me. If you want to, hey, I don't want you guys to lose anything. Set it up on the ledge here. You can push through. Yeah. I see one more in there. You see it? It's right at the edge here. That's your gold. You found it. Can you put them back in your empty bag for me?
Right here.
Put them in here. Good job. Anything else?
What about this?
That's we're done.
We take all the rocks. No, dude, we take all the rocks. Did you find your gold?
You find all yours? Did you find your piece of fool's gold? You find your fool's gold? Oh. Did you find it?
What do we do? We keep our gold.
Just put it in your bag and you're good to go. Make sure your bag's in zip still before you walk away, okay?
Okay.
Can you zip up your bag? Very good. Thank you guys. You guys were great at it.
Now what? That's it.
Hold on, stay right there. Hang on. You guys are going to come over here in line to do the box in just a second. Michael, get into the line where you were.
No, yeah.
Right there.
I got a blue.
That's it. Okay, right there. Put your pen right down. Yeah. Your finger towards me. Pass it down. That's Cody. Guys, your name is on it. Pass it down. Keep going. Okay, guys, you're going to do the same thing that the first group did. You're going to dump it in and then sift through. And be on the lookout for your piece of fool's gold, okay? Teacher said if it's okay for you to go to the throw box. And you get all your sand pushed through, you can put them back on the ledge for me and look for your rock. Go ahead and put all your rocks inside your bag. Make sure you find your pool club. Awesome. Make sure you put them in your bag with your name on it so you don't lose them. Good job. Seal your bag real good so we don't lose them.
Kaylin, smile.
Hold on to it. Everybody hold on to your bag and see where you're at. We'll move over that way in just a minute.
Hey, don't do that.
Okay, here's down the water. Don't add it to the front.
Scary.
Sorry, buddy.
At least I have a pocket in here.
Okay, you two go. Give me one this second.
Watch it, great. Michael, is that funny? Is that fun in there? Watch
He's stuck? No. Okay, you can go.
This is really fun.
Watch your head.
Oh no! Get out!
Hey, yep, come on down.
Hey!
Okay, you can go. Watch your head. Let's see, there's some stuff right there.
Hey, up here!
Wanna go again?
Vibrate.
It vibrated.
Okay, now turn around.
Hello.
Now you can tilt it down like that, and you can extend it out, and you can talk to yourself.
So we just got done.
This has got to stay up and straight.
And so we just got done. What did we just get done doing?
Well, we've checked out the gift shop, and we have sifted for jewels
Jewels
and rocks,
and
and you climb through the crawl box, which simulates splunking, which is cave exploring.
And then so we just fed the chickens.
Yep, you fed the chickens, and the chickens thought the sky was falling because they all left.
So
but
now
if
we're
you
going to lunch. So
Oh, Miss Davis says that we're going to lunch.
Yay!
So this is the part that you don't like.
No, this is the part that I do like.
Oh, you like one, but you don't like climbing the hill.
I don't like climbing the hill. So, yeah, we're going to lunch.
Okay, don't be spinning around too much, okay? All right, Kaylin. So after visiting Smallin Cave, what do you think of the cave? Was the cave pretty cool?
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it was a huge cave. So what did you think of the sifting of the sand?
It was super easy.
And fun? No? All right.
So we just got done with my field trip and we're driving home.
Well, we're actually pulling out of the parking lot.
Yeah. But so my dad is taking me home. So I'm gonna leave my stuff at school today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so yeah. So whenever we get home, we're gonna clean the house and get rid. Well, not get rid, but find things that we can sell for a garage sale, probably. So yeah. Which I got a few rocks, and then I got fool's gold.
What is fool's gold?
Fake gold.
Fake gold.
So yeah.
Is it worth any money?
No.
No. Because it's fake.
It fake. It So yeah. That was our day. So yeah, we're just driving home. Really not to talk about.
Yeah, it's one of those, you just kind of enjoy the whole drive home, huh?
Ooh.
Are you tired?
Ooh.
Is that like a fake I had a brain idea and then you lost it, or?
No, it's real.
Oh, it's real, huh?
So, whenever we were done sifting our sand and stuff, we were playing in the box.
Okay.
So, we were playing box. And then we went to the gift shop and we walked inside.
Which was kind of cool. I had some neat stuff in there.
That Indian stuff. I like that one little pocket.
Yeah. The little Native American pocket thing. Yeah. Like I said, you could probably make that at home.
How would I make that up?
Well, you get leather stock.
We don't have leather stuff.
Well, you buy it.
Where do we buy that?
Get the leather shop
There's a leather shop.
in Springfield.
There is?
There is.
That's weird. Whoa, a bridge!
Yeah. This is the Finley River.
Finally, rather.
It's a little bumpy.
Yeah. So, we just got done on a field trip, like I said. The ride there was really long. So, yeah.
The ride there was really long on the bus. It won't be near as long in the car. it's a sore. Where I wiped my nose too many
So
times.
we sing, the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. Horn on the bus go beep beep beep, beep beep beep, beep beep beep. Horn on the bus goes beep 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 all day long. The driver on the bus goes shh 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 shh. The driver on the bus goes shh 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 all day long. The kids on the bus go yap yap yap, yap yap yap, yap yap yap. The kids on the bus go yap 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 all day long. The feet on the bus go stomp stomp stomp, stomp stomp stomp, stomp stomp stomp. The feet on the bus go stomp 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 all day long. The hands on the bus go clap clap clap, clap clap clap, clap clap clap. The feet on hands on the bus go clap 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 all day long. Yeah.
Cool.
Ooh, and the parents on the bus go be quiet, 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 be quiet. The
That's
parents on the
serious.
bus go be quiet, be quiet.